Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Stalker of the Week, which is King of Pentacle. If you are new here and you do not know what Stalker of the Week is, it's a collector reading I do on an energy that kept showing up for all the signs in the tea of the week. So we look into, we basically take out the card and we say, mate, why are you stalking us? Let's stalk you back a little bit. Or interrogate. Alright, so that's what we're going to do with the King of Pentacle here. Yes, that's it. If you like this content, please like the video. I would appreciate the support. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We got tarot, we got oracle. So what I'm going to start by doing is that I'm going to start by pulling out some oracle, some keynotes here to give me the context, and then we're diving into it, but the point is to look how it plays out in your life, your role in it, what you can and can't control, and all of that. Let's start by pulling some keynotes. I hope you're doing well. I just want to say that the King of Pentacle can be man, woman, doesn't really matter. Changes to the family dynamic. Are we in that story again? Alright, let's start by pulling some keynotes here. Consent is ongoing. Recognition. And we have burnout, and we have a source of inspiration at the bottom of the deck. First, what I get to begin with the King of Pentacle is that I got that this really what it is in the words, that it is about recognizing that consent is ongoing and checking out whether or not you are compatible with your environment. What do you have here? Are you compatible with your environment? Needs and demands must be met with the expectations given thrown at you in order for you to flow. It's something about positive psychology, but it has a lot to do with if you are in an environment where there are too many, the expectations or demands placed upon you are too high, or they're too low. It could also be, they're not satisfying, they don't really meet your talents, then it can lead to a burnout. And that's what I get to begin with the context here. So with the King of Pentacle, it is tied up to a person. We're going to see more about how it plays out. Let's pull out one of these as well. Let's get, we got soulmate underneath the deck there. Great. And we have a thinker. And we have a co-create. This is about thinking about how to co-create. How lovely. Well, let's look at the thinker, and I'm getting to the tarot in a minute. I'm just setting up the context here. 44, 44, 44, 44, 44, 38, 44, 44, 44. 44. There we have thinker. Strategy being analytical and logical. The ability to reason and strategize is in focus now. Take things at face value and follow the logical path. Your calculations will prove to be correct, for in the moment there is no deeper meaning than that which is obvious. Things are exactly as they seem. You have all the information you need. Keep it simple and you will win the game of life you're playing right now. And love is not logical when you choose a partner. It's about having things in common other than desire. It's time to weigh the pros and the cons of your partnership. If there is enough common ground, then go for it. If there are not, then there are other fish in the sea. Do not force to make it work. And should others tell you who they are? Should others tell you who they are, take them at their word. Now is not the time to indulge in fantasy. No matter what, in this case, the facts are facts. And co-create. Let's quickly look at there's something about 40. It was a 41 or 41, the other that I saw before. Let's quickly look at co-create. Creativity, art, inspiration, and manifestation. You may not consider yourself a shit. Alright, I'm gonna tell what this is about. You may not consider yourself a creative person, but in fact you're creating your reality every moment of your day via your thoughts, feelings, beliefs, spirit, blah blah blah. Connection of the heart. This is a contradiction between creativity and logic. That is so interesting. Because this is a representation of logic, this is a representation of creativity. This is, you can call this the Emperor, and you can call this the Empress as an archetype energy, where you have logic being in your thought, being in your head, and seeing things for face value, which is what we got here. I've got to tell you why that is but I still get this energy here about creativity. And you look at this source of inspiration underneath there. There's something about there being a lot of creativity surrounding underneath as a hidden energy surrounding this reading here. It is almost like I'm picking up on the strong masculine energy, because it is the masculine energy, right? Even if it is a woman. And someone here who uses logic, take things at face value. Well, that will be that for some of you, I also get that the message here is to see things as what they are, to try not to engage with all these kind of fantasies regarding how things could be, how they should be, how are they truly feeling, and all of that. If they already told you, then trust them. Because it takes two to tango here to co-create, but I still get this contradiction here between creative energy and logical energy, but it may not be something that everyone would be, gotta be honest, interested in hearing about. Although I find it to be a very, very interesting debate, but on a more low level, or more, yeah. Can I say this on a more typical basis in this environment? It might have to do with that of it takes two to tango, basically. Okay, I got it there, because let's see. But let's pull out here. How is it playing out in your life? Here we have Knight of Swords in reverse. Doing some shuffles first. That's so interesting. How is it playing out in your life right now? How is this King of Pentacles playing out in your life? It is a person, remember, but could it be you? Is it someone else? But we will see. All right. Has also to do with experience. 3 of Wands there. All right, show me. Show me how is it playing out in your life right now. Or for those. The Magician, and we have the Queen of Wands underneath there. I saw the Knight of Swords a minute ago, but he was in the reverse. That could have been, first and foremost, no communication, emotional unavailability, which can come when someone here is too much in their logic, and someone else would be too much. No, it's just a contradiction, right? Normally, I would say that logic and creativity, when they meet, magic is made. Because creativity brings the chaos that logic brings order to, and you have creation. Logic can't create content because logic has no content. Logic is structure, logic is order, and creativity has no structure, has no order. So it's fluid. It is chaos. It can't really be manifested into anything. So in order to have the tools you need both logic and you need creativity here. If you want things to be idealistic, right? In teamworks, when we work together in teams, this is basically yin and yang. Doesn't matter if it's in love or friendship or whatever. I would recognize this in teamworks, right? Where we all bring something to the table. But I don't know if you have followed with the debate that's been going on for quite some time now regarding whether or not the feminine has been suppressed. And that's the creativity. That's the content creators. How would that energy be suppressed? It would be suppressed by a performativity, or by a too much thinking, too much stop taking time. We need to go quick, but that's just nothing. Oh, sorry, that's just another one. But would we come here with the manifestation? It would be that right now you are manifesting something here, right? You are recognizing. Or there's a situation here, so what's going on is about recognizing that consent is ongoing, which is not forcing things upon each other. We may have been given consent previously, right, saying yes, you can do this, but it is ongoing. We can retract our consent. That's like when we break up with someone, we retract the consent of saying you can do this, or you right, for instance, if you broke up with someone, they don't have access to just come in and then do whatever they want to do with you, right? That's a bit off. And even if you are in a relationship, you still give consent to, things. Everything, consent is ongoing. And then we have recognition here. I feel with recognition, it really is what it said. It is not changing, it is recognizing it. And recognizing in this, what I have here, also stands out as a very strong masculine recognition, as in this deck here, in opposition to validation, which is far more feminine. Validation being like the second chakra, and recognition being far more solar plexus, being far more about, you know, the masculine feeling recognized, feeling seen. Right, it's feeling seen, it's being seen. It's logical what we say here, also what facts are facts. Recognizing, it is very logical, yeah. Recognizing things for what they are. And in doing so, you start recognizing, am I compatible with my environment? Because what happens when we are too much in the feminine energy, we like to pretend, or not pretend, we like to feel our way into it, and we tend to kind of bleed into it. If it's a wounded feminine, right? She bleeds into her environment, and because she feels okay with it, then her environment must feel okay with it. That's where the masculine here comes in, and a little bit colder. Structure, logic to set up the boundary. So you know, where the creativity with the feminine kind of bleeds all over the place, and, you know, never really gets anything done, by the way. The masculine comes in here, or the logic comes in here, sets up that parameter and says, here's the boundary. And then from that boundary, you can start recognizing, you know, this is me, this is what I'm feeling in the inside, this is me, and that's the outside, that's my environment. Can I recognize facts for what they are? And it goes both ways, right? Recognizing your truth and then recognizing the truth outside, without then, you know, then being that, having that little free game here, recognizing, you know what, I'm in risk of burning out. It's typically the feminine that burns out as an energy, right? The feminine, here we have her, but she stands strong, right? The Queen of Wands right now, she stands strong. But when she's, by the way, in the reverse, she is my burnout. She's not here. She's upright. And she comes with justice and the Ace of Wands. And you know what? And there we have true friend as well. This is a good energy, because it's about manifesting your fire. It's about manifesting from you know, recognizing who you are and bringing balance. It's about making the right decision. It is such a good energy. That's how it's playing out. Let's see what's your role in it. We're gonna look into the King, of course. But it is it's tied up, because when it comes with the King here, it's tied up to a particular person, right? For some of you, it's that you are manifesting a particular position or a particular... and we will look into when we comes to that. Right? Let's see, what is your role in it? What's your role in it? All right, so it is the Queen of Wands, right? You are the Queen of Wands. And guess what? Walking away... and strength there, and Ace of... Wow, this is amazing, right? So you have the Queen of Wands. I just went over it. It's not being burned out. It's actually recognizing that your consent is ongoing as well. You get to say no as well. And it would appear to be that way, because here we have walking away to go co-create somewhere else. And you know what? I see a source of inspiration taking place. There's someone or something influencing your desire to move in a certain direction. Be inspired, be authentic, to co-create. I feel as though there's something here about, you know, time. Time has shown, or it's like TikTok, because I got TikTok. Time has shown something about bad education, or something that was not... How can I say? It's about, this is the under the deck, right? A hidden energy that has something to do with someone, be it you or your environment or whatever, is kind of wakening up to the fact that maybe there was, either within oneself and also in the environment, that with bad education, it comes with not asking the right questions. Yeah, but your role here, again, we have the Queen of Wands, which is a good energy, guys. It's a good energy. This is very, very powerful. Hold on. Got to fix something. yeah. Long story. Alright, let's see more about your role in it. Messiah. Oh God, you know my Messiah. I don't like the Messiah. Why don't I? Because it's, yeah, but why do I get... Alright, Messiah has something about serving with humility. Stands a little bit in contrast in many, and we have Angel there. Stands a little bit in contrast with the Queen of Wands, honestly. Angel, Damsel, we have Vampire here, and Gossip, and Guide. Oh God, alright. There was something here about a bully being there. Something that someone who only focuses on the negative for their own gain. Wants to destroy other people's potential and manipulates a little bit. Something about highlighting the tendency, because the Queen of Wands can also be a bully. So this Queen of Wands, which is you would appear to me to be a little bit in contrast, or contradiction, or paradox, meaning that there's not all light, but you know what? We all have that shadow, right? Because the Queen of Wands, she is an energy of very much also having a dark side. She has a dark side to her, but she's in the upright. Right, so she has mastered it. But I don't know if some of you have a history of, can I really say it, making yourself more important than need be. But it doesn't show up as that right now, right? But with the Angel here, you're helping those in need, not expecting anything in return, understanding the nature of healthy romance, and inspires you to be yourself. And you know what? It's something here about there being... I don't know if this is something in you or someone else, but there's this little bit of a gossiping energy and vampire energy. But as I said, it might be in the environment here. We're going to look into a little bit about the environment, because I don't know if it's a person or it's just being in the wrong place where you do not, or you're not aligning your talents, who you are not aligning long term with it. Right? It would deplete you. It would lead to a burnout. I hope that may be it, but there could be something there. Let's look a little bit into, you know what, before we look into that, let me show me your environment here. Show me your environment. It's the World, and Judgment in the reverse. Alright, so how is it playing out? You're manifesting. We're going to look into what it is that you're manifesting, but in your environment we have, it's coming to a full circle. Something here is being resurrected, because it's like something here is being called out, possibly in a little bit of an, how can I say, I don't know if some of you have something in your environment where it is, there may be a little bit of, of risk of it, not risk, because honestly I feel as though it's actually a good one, because it's like being called out on something that should not be focused on. Right? You're very quick here. With the Queen of Wands, she is very quick. But you also want to do something here with humility. You're not arrogant, even though sometimes you may come off as it. Your environment actually makes you happy. I don't know if something here that comes back. I don't know if it's like you're being confirmed in that something here is not worth it. I don't know if some of you are actually going through a certain situation where you're in an environment, it may not be the best for you, but you're in it and you're still happy. I don't know if it's because you have this understanding that right now you have no choice, you have to be there, but you rely on yourself, right? Yes, there may be a disappointment here in that, something about understanding, but it's okay. That's what I get. What is it that you're trying to manifest? You try, see, that's the thing. You're about making a difficult decision in your life. It's about not focusing on things where you don't have enough skills. What do I mean by that? It's about coming, you or your environment or whatever, is this clear understanding about what can be done and what cannot be done. Where is the limit to your talents? That's also about this energy about here, recognizing the boundary, recognizing the limits to ourself, the limits to our talents as well. Right? Because otherwise we can get into this exaggerated belief that we are the only means by which a cause can succeed. Doesn't really bode or promise well for teamwork, does it? Or just being in a healthy relationship with someone where it takes two to tango, and there's one person who believes themselves to be that important. Doesn't really benefit, does it? And that's what I get here manifesting with the eight of Pentacles in reverse. It's basically, you see this guy, he has, or this doggy, he has these sausages on the table going down, and then we have it throwing down there. In many ways, these are pentacles, and we have the King of Pentacles. We're gonna look more into him in a minute here. It's about, can I really say you're manifesting money out of the house? No, you're manifesting, you're setting up limits. It's about setting up limits, saying, here to no further. Even also for yourself. It's that understanding of, there's only 24 hours in the day, and who the hell wants to stress themselves into insanity or, ill health? It's about saying, this is it. And you're seeing things for what they are. It's a difficult decision. Some of you, this has to do with a ghosting situation in love, where there's no communication or there's misunderstandings. You may feel a strong pull in that direction, but as I said, it's something about the communication being off, and then finding oneself in like a I don't know, this is also an underlying energy. I don't know if this is something you have, but I'm just going to give you the energy. It is that about feeling a strong pull, but not talking things over, and then there's a decision to be made that has a lot to do with which direction, which truth, which direction, but more first and foremost what to believe. Not so much about which direction to take, but what to believe. And the heart is a little bit closed because someone here will not open up the heart. They want to fight for what it is that they has stayed with them for so long. But there is something here about seeing things. I don't know if this is another queen here, seeing things clearly, saying, you know what, equal give and take. And we have the Empress here cutting off. It's about new start, something here creating. Well, let's now look into, so it's actually a rather good energy. Let's look into this King of Pentacles. He doesn't know what to believe. He doesn't know what to believe. Feels though, I don't quite know if we have actually reached the King of Pentacles yet, but let's see. Show me something here about the King of Pentacles. Who is the King of Pentacles? Show me more about the King of Pentacles. He's a teacher. Ability to communicate knowledge, experience, wisdom, and skill. And a saboteur. Highlights your fear of self-empowerment and change, and the changes it would bring to your life. I still get this, someone here misusing power. I don't know. We will see. I don't know if it's like there are kind of like links of energies where you have the first, the second, the primary, blah, blah, blah. That seems a little further out. But let's see here. We have him as a teacher, ability to communicate, experience, skill, and wisdom. It's very knowledgeable. Look at that world there. But he might actually be in your environment, because look at him. He's carrying, or him, she, whatever. This world in her hands there, and we have the world here. I really get this. This King of Pentacles has a lot of knowledge, but of course he has, because he is the King of Pentacles. There's life experience. It's also status, however. It's someone in a position of power. But being able to teach is also very powerful, because you actually get to shape the minds of tomorrow. And those minds are the ones who go out and change and make changes, right? So teachers are very, very powerful, because they, as I said, they shape the minds of tomorrow. And that's teachers, good teachers, in my opinion, also the ones that they don't really. Yes, they in the early stages, they tell you what, the basics, the facts, right? They tell you the facts. They don't make up their own. They tell you the facts. And what are that? Evidence-based facts. But let's not go into that. As we move up as we mature and we get older, and our educational levels also kind of 9th grade, 8th grade, whatever, 8th, 9th, whatever, high school or whatever. Great teachers are also the ones that, in my opinion, of course, they are the ones that also inspire people to think for themselves, to co-create their own life, right? That's where we also get into this great paradox, clash, no, good thing, because the union between logic and creativity. The teacher, good teachers, they teach the creatives to set structure, and those who are logical, they teach them to have creativity, right? Because if it's too much logic, it gets cold, and then it kind of, as I went over before, they can like turn into this devaluation of creativity and content creators, the feminine and all of that. But creativity also needs that logic, and teachers, yeah, they know this. But that's the teacher, apparently. That's the king. And there's something here highlighting your fear of self-empowerment and the changes it would bring to your life. So the king here is kind of like there to teach you that. But as I said, there is also this energy. I really don't see this in here, in this person, of that, which is to want to undermine other people and be very critical and only use, kind of like charm. A little bit like a, what do we call, a kiss ass. But a little bit knock vibe there. Highly sensitive to criticism, offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority, using romantic charm and potential, but there's a potential for power here. But I also get that being in, because I still also get this knife, what do you call it, like an knife edge for the Queen of Wands here, which is that of walking on a thin line. Because if she has all of these bully traits in her, right? But what is up with the Queen of Wands is she chooses not to do it when she's upright. I mean, in that, I will point towards, detectives. What are good detectives? Not that I see a detective, but it's just to give an example about how she can have darkness in her and still be light. Detectives, what makes a good detective? A good detective is someone who can actually think like a criminal and think all of those terrible thoughts. What would I do if I was them? But not do it, not act on it, because they have higher ethics, but they can think like that. You will people who are high up in powers, they have a little bit of that, because it's a shitty world up there, right? Sorry, but it's a shitty world up there. And you have it within, most of them have it within them to think like that. Because otherwise they can't get in. You have to get there. Pretty sure. So see, we have the Empress. See, the Empress also comes with these two, with the Queen of Swords here and the Queen of Wands. These are two. These are the masculine energies of the feminine energy. Remember, she has that in her as well, right? Which is that of having the fire to go somewhere, but also having the critical. So when information is being given, she or you here you cannot also see through shit, basically. See, that's the thing. So just to say, you know, how you can have this light and dark inside. It's actually, yeah, it's just about matter of not acting on it, right? But when it, yeah, show me more. You've been healing here. Healing what? Yeah, but you have been you've been going inside yourself and really reflecting on possibly on your own thoughts, on yourself, and that is what enables you to come out like this Messiah energy. But it is, yeah, it's because I'm a little bit sometimes with this Messiah energy. It's because I don't want to support this narrative of you're the only one who can do this. It's like, no, we all have talents. It's just, yeah, but it is having this humility, but still understanding that you are unique. There's only one of you. And that's good. But then here's the thing, do we need to have other people, is there really any need to have other people celebrate because of that? Yes, because I understand there's only one of me. I know there's only one of me. And I consider myself very, 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 very like a prize. But then again, I also know that some people would absolutely despise having little me in their lives, right? So it's just about recognizing, all right, where do you fit in, where don't you fit in? All right, so what can you control, what can't you control? What can you control in this? Now let's see what is still. Let's look into a little bit of a soul lesson in all of this. What can you learn from this? Whatever it is. Love and change. I understand. Okay, love. Okay. Love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. Okay. Love is just, okay, again, if any of you know my readings, I'm always a little bit, yeah. But it's just because I don't do all this Hare Krishna, rah, rah, rah. I do, yes, love, but love is also work. I'm too much of an earth sign, alright? Love. The lesson here is love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things, and that's a good practice. That's what helps us to say, alright, there's at least I learned something from it, right? The thing, right, when it comes to these situations, when we are in shit situations, it's very difficult to pull upon this. But is this meant to teach me a lesson or whatever? It really depends on this, on how terrible it is, right? It really depends. I mean, you walk up to someone who just lost a family member or something, and you say, but it's meant to teach you a lesson. It's like, piss off, piss the fuck off. But you know, you can, somewhere down the line, you can look back and say, this is what I learned from it. It made me stronger in that way, but not in the moment. You know, there's a long story there, but I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. And change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. See, that's the movement. That's the co-create. But it's a different movement than the logical. I keep returning to this because the logical is a very... Also with you here, can be impatient, can go forward. Remember, the King of Pentacles, who is this teacher here, is very slow. These two are actually a little bit contradicting. Because the Queen of Wands is very quick. But that would be you, right? And the King of Pentacles, he's very slow. Extremely slow movement. So sometimes that could have been a contradiction in regards to patience. But in all cases, what I am seeing here is that there is this co-creation going in your life. There's something also in your environment that really makes you happy. It has this full, it's like closing out this final karmic cycle for some of you. And you understand that this happened for you to grow. And that brings you to this state of love and to this happiness. Or to this understanding. I keep probably going up with the mic, yeah. So that's a good energy. Let's see, what can you control, what can't you control? Not, doing the right thing, not leaving things behind messy, but what can you control? What you can control is the Ritter des Stalken, a Knight of Wands, another person. What can't you control? High Priestess, right. What you can control is your own tempo. We have a Hierophant underneath, right? There is a Hierophant in reverse. Oh, there we have the Queen of Pentacle, right? And we have the Star. Aw, they're not. All right. Anyway, I don't know if someone's going through a divorce. It might be. There's something here about spiritual connection being broken because it's done. But we have here what you can control is your own tempo. It's your own wanderlust. It's your own desire to see the world. With the Queen of Wands here, yes. Something also about the people you choose. Unicorn. It's about you not seeing fantasies. What you can also control is that when someone, probably a person with the Knight of Wands here, comes into your life, all quick and all fiery, you can see them for what it is, because a Knight of Wands is not there to stay. He or she will come in with lots of passion, with lots of fire, and then they will move on. When they're in the reverse, they just will forget to tell you, or they will leave behind you. They will make you believe that they're there to stay, and they will come in, crash, burn all over the place. This one is a in, out, very straightforward. And what you can control is not then seeing it as a fantasy, right? Making it, turning it into something that is, I don't know, the love story of Romeo and Juliet, or probably that's a terrible love story, but the biggest love story of all. And only what was a one night stand. It doesn't have to be that, but it's also that of just you not seeing fantasies, basically, and then move on with love. You see the good in all things, and then you take action and you move forward in life. What you can't control is distrust. You can't control if other people trust you or not. Right? They may have theirs. Sometimes you may find yourself in situations here where it's just not aligned. You come from different cultural value systems. And that can really play out in many ways. A cultural value system, what is that? It can be, yes, cultural background. Here's the thing about culture. It's not just about countries. It's culture can be growing. Some come from a rich background, middle class, poor. That's cultural background. Can also be the mindset. A person here who is far more logical, far more in the masculine energy, is also a little bit in the cultural crash to someone who's a little bit more feminine. They probably have also gone in different directions in their career, right? Culture clashes. Long story there. This has something to do with teamwork again. It's just that of differences. All right, it's a matter of differences. The way we communicate different tends to be based upon how we perceive the world different, and the way we perceive the world different tends to be, I don't know, mostly depends what perspective you take on it, but it's conditioned, it's rooted, probably through upbringing, or also part of who we are. Probably, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but what you can't control is how other people want to perceive the world, and if they have one way of judging you based upon their predisposed knowledge, I don't know what's it called, they just have knowledge beforehand, they have pre-experience, so when they run into you and maybe you trigger something, they see you in a particular way, and vice versa, right? But with love here, as it's being the lesson is about, I commit to seeing the good in all things. But again, here comes the skeptic in me, right? I also want to say, yeah, but not to the extent where one goes naive, but you don't show up as that. It's a matter here of just, again, that art of setting boundaries and saying, here too, no further. Otherwise, I'm gonna go fucking insane and burn out. Let's pull out a monology, and then we're about done. And let's see how these energies will play out. One of the reasons why I also continue doing it. Oh shit. Oh no, it's just, why did it did this the last time? It turns up or something. Anyway, one of the reasons I also love doing these is because these energies, they may not, when the reading comes out, be all that relevant. Go back a week or two. They're really interesting. Sometimes they even have a relevance for me, which is annoying. Meaning the energies, right? Because I recognize the energies. They may not be the same storyline, but recognize the energies. Let's see what we have there. A time to give rather than take. Oh, that of being of service, huh? And we have believe in the impossible and emotions are running high. You know what also fell out? A new cycle is beginning. Romantic cycle is beginning. But first and foremost, we have Libra, we have Virgo. Oh, we have Blue Moon. It's a time to give rather than to take. We're gonna need to look into that, because we look at that concept there. New moon is all about beginning something new. New moon in Virgo. Virgo. When this card comes up, it's time for you to take stock of your situation. Where are you and where do you want to go? The new moon in this energy suggests that as a restart, and the Virgo energy suggests that you make a restart, a clever one, that's simple and well organized. Virgo also has a strong health aspect to it. So if you've been unwell, this card suggests that your health is on the up. Virgo loves to clean eating and alternative therapy, so that add that into your routines. However you've been feeling, if a situation is blocked at the moment, it could be that you were over analyzing things or being too critical. It's time to ask less what someone can do for you and think more about what you can do for others. Exacto. We look here at all of this again here. I see you being happy. I see you shining light onto things, right? See facts. Don't make quick assumptions. I see you being capable of it. And I feel this King of Wands is also a little bit of a teacher in it. It's probably teaching critical skills or something like that. Saying, you know what, let's look at facts. Let's stop making assumptions here. Let's look at the situation for what it is. And a new romantic cycle begins. Let's quickly look into the Libra there. And then we're done. Give and take could be the answer to whatever dilemma you're asking about. Compromise may be called for. It's time to start renegotiating or even negotiating. Or to start negotiating or even renegotiating. Right. When the new moon in Libra comes up, there's a restart for you and someone else. A new relationship could be beginning. And if that's the case, chances are it will be a healthy and well-balanced connection. In anything you do after pulling this card, doing it in pairs is advised, such as teaming up with someone in business or in your personal life. Libra is the sign of relating, and this card suggests that whatever is at the heart of the issues you're addressing is someone who will be open to talking things through. Avoid being selfish, it won't get you anywhere. Reach out to someone and let them know you care. Feel more, think less. That's a little bit contradiction there. Legal matter will go in your way. Pay some attention to your appearance, but don't be all about appearances. Yeah, it's again here. See, it's again this contradiction about, because being about appearance is that when you look at things for what they are without reading into it, you look at it for their appearance. Getting a little bit teaching here. You look at it for their appearance. You don't even read into it. You just see this is a card. There are letters, new romance, and you really start analyzing on a very, very objective level. There's no pointing to this and that and this. You work without subjectivity, so to say. You work very, very neutral. And that is what we have here with the new moon, right? In the Virgo. Then we have this new moon in Libra. It's a little bit, yes, it's similar because it's Libra energy is also that of being very neutral. But here it's also that of oh my God, I swear to God. Yeah, sorry, it's that of also, as I said here, about being a little more feeling. This, sorry, I just got a little bit, this is bloody, did these cards just give me the recipe of a fucking Discord analysis? Which is about connecting dots, doing detective work almost. I don't know, I'm not a detective. But you look at things. You look at a lot of pieces of information, and then you connect. You look at relationship between them, right? You relate all the pieces together, and then you start looking for patterns. It takes a long time to do those analyses. Let me say it like that. They are months worth of work. And you don't do in these situations. This that's completely has nothing to do with this, because it's just, that's work, all right? That's pure work. This is I know you don't do discourse analysis on your people you love like this. You don't analyze them like this. That's professional. But in all cases, it is still this contradiction here. It is this contradiction between seeing facts straight and then reading into it a little bit, because again, as I said before, we need this kind of balance between this, but finding that balance can be very, very, very difficult sometimes, and emotions can run high there. Okay, most likely outcome, and then we're done. Swear to God. These readings sometimes take on their life on their own. No, they always do. Let's see here. Oh shit. I'm in a hurry now. What do we have most likely outcome? Judgment in the reverse, and we have Rita Divorce. I keep seeing riders, so that would probably see, or knights. Something about there being a lively debate, but it keeps showing up as though it's rather controlled, it's rather disciplined, it's good. It's not, to begin with, it might start off with like an argument, like a warfare, because someone wants to go to war. They want to, that was the energy I've also picked up here underneath, someone being emotionally unavailable. They want to fight, they act quickly, they act before they think. That energy is kind of a little bit. Alright, show me that energy. They have a wounded child. There's not a lot of forgiveness there. There might be some need to forgive. I don't know if there's some you or them, something about being a rebel here. Alright. I don't know, for some of you there could have been a clash between someone where harsh words were spoken. And it leads to someone going on that warfare. I don't know, there may be a past energy there, but in all cases here, most likely outcome the judgment in the reverse. We have the boring sort. No, we have some very, very slow energy here, which would create tension. I feel as though something here is being thrown back to be looked at upon again. It's like retracting the whatever consent was giving, retracting it, because it's about checking out whatever was done, whatever was given. Is it compatible with what you want to achieve, with what is actually going on? Is it compatible? And then it will create a little bit of tension here to do things slow, or things are being thrown up into the air. And there we have this emotional challenge in that someone here really wants to do things quick. They don't have a lot of empathy. And that's where I don't know if someone here has a tendency to kind of play on emotions, and I do a little what I call the narc vibe. They don't have to be one, they may just be very extremely selfish, very, very selfish. They want what they want, and they don't mind manipulating others to get what they want. They may consider themselves very smart, but you know what? If you learn to spot through it, you learn to recognize, so is it time for me to walk away? Do I want to waste my time on this shit? But you know, that's what we have there. Anything else, and then we're done. Again, another long reading here. Any last message there? 3 of Cups in the reverse. 2 of Swords and 3 of Swords. No, I should have said stop. No. That's a 3-party situation here. Someone here is in their head regarding... There's too many in a crowd. Like I said, it takes 2 to tango. Well, there are 3 in the crowd here. Why do I keep getting another story? I also got a divorce story somewhere down the line. Someone here is in their head about something about a divorce. It's a long one. That's also this tension here. Things are coming out clear and things are going to happen very quickly. I don't know, something here is going to come towards you very quickly and you will have to look at things critically. For most of you, it is about cutting out what needs to be cut out. Be it a person, it's a truth most likely, right? It could also be, yeah, most likely be a person or something of that has a social nature to it, but they are misunderstandings. So there's probably going to be some situation where clear communication might be needed or advised here, because it could be, you know, miscommunication between friends that leads someone here in a position of I don't quite know which direction to go, and it may end up having someone here make a decision that breaks someone's heart. And for others of you, this is about not wanting to see that especially if you're dating someone and you're not talking and they're an idiot, not wanting to see that there's a third party, not wanting to see that there's something else in the mix, blaming it on it there being misunderstandings and all of that. But eventually, you know, the truth will come out. And then it's back to the drawing board to reassess what was not being said, what was not seen. But I don't see it being that big of a deal though, right? For some of you, I don't know if this is because you're the one walking away, right? You're walking away from something here. There may be, by the way, situations which you are walking away from something here, even though you invested a lot of yourself. But that's because you're seeking partnerships where people work with you. And it may actually come person another person work with you, right? It's actually looking for that 2 of Cups. It may come very quickly and you may be a little bit stressed about it because, oh, I just moved into calmer waters. What the hell? Do I even have what I'm... You may be a little questioning about it, and that 3 of Swords may be the other energy that you're leaving behind, where it was, well, you know what, you walked away, you saw things clear. Really depends on where you are in this, right? I see a inspiration to go in a direction following, having a little bit of a disappointment happening, but it comes because it was just not balanced, right? It was just not balanced. There was this impatience here, and you started to hold back on yourself to avoid a tower moment, because that's what the Empress does, and the Empress moved on. That's the creative energy I keep picking up on here. That is that is actually a little bit of an Empress here, setting boundaries. And I don't know, in doing so, setting boundaries may actually be a teacher to someone. Maybe you're the one being the teacher here. Well, let's see. You tell me how it plays out when it comes there. That's it. I will see you next time. Ciao.